Bonjour, mes amis. And today I am painting René Artois from Allo Allo, popular British sitcom from the 80s. I'm painting René because I didn't know what to paint, and it's always the case. And I thought, well, do I paint something that's going to get the hits, going to get the views, or do I just paint something that is going to get no views whatsoever? So I thought I'd do that. Who's going to watch a painting of René Artois? I have no idea. I've got a friend, Luke, who is definitely going to watch it. You're watching now, aren't you? um, that's it. Is that it? Is anyone else going to watch this? I don't know. But what the hell? Thought I'd do it anyway. Uh, and I'm doing this. It's going to be very rough. Look at his hair already. It is going to be a very rough painting. I make no apologies for that. I'm going to do some drawing on it as well. I just didn't know what to draw. I didn't know what to paint, and but I had an urge to paint. I'm going to do another video after this, I think, which is going to be even more obtruse. Is that the word? Um, yeah. But there we go. It was tie. So hello, hello. It was huge, wasn't it? At one point, it was massive in Britain. Really, really popular sitcom. And to be fair, often very funny. Overstayed its welcome, like a lot of successful TV shows do. But yeah, one of the greats, I think, with the casual racism that it had against the French and the Germans. Sometimes I don't know. It felt like it was more casual racism towards the French. The British have a strange relationship with the French, often been at war with them. Uh, Whereas it kind of the Germans it was making fun of were the Nazis, so it's easy to make fun of them. Um, what was more interesting is the way it made fun of the French. Rene being a Lothario, an unlikely lover with God knows how many. There was Vicky Michelle. What's she called? Michelle? Sure. There was his wife, who he had no desire to be with. There was Vicky Michelle. There was that other one, Mimi. Was that her name? Um, he was a rotter, proper love rat. But he was French, so he's like, oh, it's okay. It's what the French do. They just drink wine and have affairs. There's Tash, big old Tash. Gordon Kay. Quite an odd actor, Gordon Kay. I felt if I may say so, he often added an air of seediness to the roles he played. Um, I have to say that because that's what I think. Um, he was a coach driver in Porridge, the movie. Came to brought the celebrity football team in. There were no celebrities. Not even Buck Tarbrush turned up. Um, and yeah, he was rather seedy in that. Yeah, he's just an odd character, Gordon Kay. This is going to be really quick, this, isn't it? How far on I've come already. Um, but now I'm adding some colour pencils. I need some brown. I need brown darker than that. Shall I have my pencil case? made from some wax fabric and African prints. My wife made it for me. She's good at sewing. She's very good. I think I found that one. That'll do. Caput mortum. It's less brown, more of a bruise colour, but that's okay. That's going to be for his eyes. Once it's slightly sharper, so I will sharpen it. There we go. Right. So his nose, you're not there. I also think with René, he's slightly. How can I put this? His eyes don't necessarily point in the same direction, which is great for me because when I'm drawing, I rarely get them pointing in the same direction anyway. Already doesn't look like René. That's fine. Wants a bit of a. I always do this. Forget I should be adding some little bits of shadow and shade. Give it some depth to his face, like so. The collar's too high, isn't it? That's one of the problems. He needs to be a little bit more jowly. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Written by who was it? David Parry, David Croft, Jimmy Parry, and David Croft. I think that might be it. Um, Giants of British sitcoms. Also, did Are You Being Served? And It Ain't Half Hot Mum. They were very good at ensemble casts, lots of characters. Whereas, you look at Galton and Simpson, and they would just often be a double header. Just Step Two and Son is literally just the two guys trapped. Porridge is mostly two guys, literally trapped. But yeah, Galton and Simpson were very good at doing just two guys, and Croft and Perry were very good at doing lots of guys and gals, guys and gals. Um, I also feel that Croft and Perry were my least favourites. Good as they were, uh, I think some of the comedy was a little too broad, even for me. And I'm huge fan of broad comedy. Um, Porridge had a good mix of earthiness and clever jokes, and it had Ronnie Barker, who was the master of comedy. Right, we need to show where his arms are. Bit of grey, just just a touch of grey, a little bit just down here, just some shadow. Just using a bit of dried paint on the palette here. Don't wash your palette unless you really need to. You never know when you're going to need that little bit of dried grey. It happens to be the perfect colour. Looking good. See, it makes a big difference, doesn't it? Those little shadow details. You can now see he's got sleeves. Oh, yeah. It's looking a bit more like René now. Let's fill his jowls out. Tessa jowls. She have jowls. What colour shall I do the background, children? Let's have a think. I'm going to go for red. It's not red in the photo I'm taking this from. In the photo, it's like a beige marble colour, but it's too much like the colour of his skin. So I don't want that. Mm. He's got funny sticky arms in this painting, hasn't he? And it's a great theme tune. It's very gentle, but it's perfect. Playing the accordion. I used to be in a band with someone who played accordion. He was a lovely man. He was, but he played the accordion. You can't have everything, can you? Whites of his eyes. I should. I'm gonna try some Tipex. Let's try some Tipex for his eyes. What I'm gonna do is dip the brush in. Yeah, do not use a brush with Tipex. Okay, it dries really hard. It cakes up on it. This is still. I've spent a good 5 minutes with soap and water, and a lot of the bristles on this brush are still stuck together. Don't do it. I'm just getting the brush dirty. I'm not picking up any Tipex. There we go. Better. Touch white on the end of his nose. I'll always remember that. There's usually something there. And a bit of white up here on his forehead. There we go. Obviously, I need some on these to give this a good wash afterwards. Need some white for his buttons. Let's do that. Can Tipex be watered down? Probably. It's drying on the brush. That's fine actually though. It's fine. You got the button effect. And how we're looking at the screen. You know what? I mean, this has been a very short painting, but it's almost done. Do I colour his blazer in darker blue? I think maybe I will do. This gotta find the right colour. Got dark indigo, which tends to be my favourite. They're both dark indigo. Use them. I'm gonna get my extender out. I'm sorry. Oh, it's a pencil extender. See? You see that? I'm just going to sharpen this and then I'll show you what I do with my extender. Okay. So, see that? Put that in there like that. Put this on. Tighten that. Yeah. Hey, presto. Normal size pencil. So, I am obliterating some of the lovely shades of colour here, but we need a bit more definition on these waistcoats. And I'm obliterating those buttons as well, aren't I? Doesn't matter. I'm loving the fact someone's going to be scrolling through YouTube and stumble across a "Let's paint René from Hello Hello" there on the screen, sitting next to Mr. Beast and whoever else is hot on YouTube these days. Some guy building Lego and someone playing Minecraft and some like probably some 6-year old girl who's making absolute millions from some sort of dolls videos, something. And that's fine. I'm just jealous. There we go. There we have René Artois from Allo Allo. I'll see you next week.